Welcome to Wesley Impact. I'm Keith Garner, and today we're going to look at how we can all do something, however small, to make a positive difference in the lives of others. What goes through your mind when you see a young person going out of their way to reach out and offer help to other people? Thank you for joining us today. Across the whole work of Wesley Mission, we seek to do all the good we can and make a positive difference to everyone that we come into contact with. So, in addition to those who come to us in need, we seek to help improve the lives of people who in turn will add value to the wider community. Through our Child and Family Network, we see thousands of children and young adults every year find purpose, love, and in many cases, a new home. Additionally, through our congregational life and church work, we help young people and young adults in particular find purpose and discover avenues where they can express their faith. Later today, I'll be speaking with the senior minister at Wesley Mission, Rick Dacey, who is leading a new youth outreach in the centre of Sydney called Urban Mission. We'll be joined by Greg Cooper, who will sing the inspiring song Eternal King. And today I'm going to begin a series that will focus on some of the great characters of the New Testament. Now, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be joined by Rick Dacey to talk about this new initiative at Wesley Mission in bringing a sense of purpose to our city mission, seeking to engage with young people and include them in our ministry of care, and at the same time enabling them to express their faith in real and practical ways. Here's a short video to introduce us to this new initiative, Urban Mission.
Wesley Urban Mission is an opportunity for young people to experience mission in their own city. It's a mission trip to the city. We're going to have high school youth from across New South Wales who are coming together. They're going to connect with other youth that they haven't connected with before, and they're also going to be connecting with our staff who are in service in the community throughout the week, throughout the year. And they're going to be learning and discovering together what it is to come alongside people with Christ-like servanthood. We're bringing together the resources of our community services. We have a broad range of services in the community in just about every area of human need, and also the experience of our diverse congregational life. Wesley Mission has earned the trust of people in the community beyond the church over decades of being involved in people's lives at the areas of greatest need and showing the love and hope and compassion of Jesus Christ. And what we want to do is give young people, high school students, an opportunity to take part in that and to see what their life can mean as they come alongside people at the margins. These kids are going to have a life-changing experience. Some of it's going to be very intense and personal. Some of it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And sometimes both of these things are going to happen together. And while the kids are having fun and running around and doing different activities, they're also learning about serious things like the challenge of being homeless in the city, not just in terms of getting your food, but also in terms of need for connection, for friendship, for love. So Wesley Urban Mission is not a camp or just a one-off event that the kids participate in. We see this as a catalyst event in their lives and in their communities. We're looking to build up local congregations in their own mission, and when kids come back to their own congregation and they've experienced what it is to encounter Christ in the wider community, they can't contain it. And the adults in the congregation want to be part of that too. And we want to empower local congregations to be in mission in their own context, in their own neighborhoods, with the love of Christ.
If you would like to see more of the work of Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can watch loads more videos, catch up on past episodes of Wesley Impact TV, find out about our diverse range of services, and get involved to help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and stay up to date on the latest news and information from Wesley Mission. wesleymission.org.au.
I asked at the outset of the show what goes through your mind when you see a young person going out of his or her way to lend a helping hand to somebody in need. In our daily lives, it can be hard to find time to stop and help others. Quite often, we need to be intentional and step out of our busyness, making times to engage with others. In my years of ministry, I found that when I or other people go out of their way to help others, quite often the blessings return. It's as if the good deed flows both ways. Rev Rick Dacey is a colleague and senior minister for our congregational life at Wesley Mission and a welcome guest on Wesley Impact. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Keith.
Along with the team, Rick is leading in this project. I want you to tell us a little bit about what is Urban Mission.
Urban Mission is it's a catalyst event that's intended to open kids' eyes to what their life can mean. Society really bombards them with messages about the meaning of their life is going to be in what they accomplish or what they achieve or what they accumulate. And what we want to give them is a mission immersion experience that helps them to see as no lesson in a book or in a study can tell them. It helps them to discover what their life can mean being in service to others.
And the word urban is very much part of that, because people think about youth camps and all that, going out, and we say away from the hustle and bustle. Well, this is an entry into the hustle and bustle, isn't it?
That's the immersion. So we are, in a very controlled and safe way, giving kids an opportunity to experience parts of their own city or their own community that they may not have seen before, and encounter relationship with people that they might not encounter. We'll be working alongside our staff in the community services and learning what it means to serve with Christ-like servanthood. We're going to have them staying at Cockatoo Island for the week, so they're going to have a great camp experience together. For kids from all different parts of the state are going to be part of this. And the opportunity then to go out and to be alongside people at the margins and encounter Christ there is a remarkable one.
Give us a feeling, a taste of what they'll do.
So it's going to be varied, but one day they may be participating with kids who are in care, and they'll be alongside those kids and doing a massive Lego event. We've got, we're not just talking about sitting around with Legos, we're talking about building the Harbor Bridge in the view of the Harbor Bridge, and building relationships with those kids, coming alongside them, giving them encouragement, building a sense of togetherness with them. So the bridge is going to have a metaphorical piece to it as well, but a great encouragement for them and for their carers. Another day, they may be running around the city in groups and having fun doing an amazing race, but along the way, they're finding out about what does it mean to be homeless in the city, and what does it mean to come alongside those who are homeless. So every day, another day they'll be alongside seniors, another day they'll be alongside people with disabilities. They're going to have an opportunity to experience the breadth of the society and the city.
So we always talk about outcomes, because I think we're outcome focused. What are the outcomes that you would anticipate, hope, or expect to happen for young people that take part in Urban Mission?
Well, what we see happen when we have kids engaged in this kind of immersion experience is we see not only life change for them as their perspectives are opened up, but we see community change. When they come back to their home churches and their schools, they are part of that's where the catalyst is. It's not just the kids have gone off and done their good deed for the week, but actually what they've discovered, they can't hold it to themselves, and they want to get others involved and engaged in that, and that has a lifelong ripple effect, and that's what we anticipate and expect to see in kids who participate in this.
So there's a social engagement and transformation going on as well. It's not just a deep religious feel-good moment, but it's going to maybe change their worldview.
Absolutely. So it's not religious or social. In Wesley Mission, we believe that word and deed, that worship and service are inextricably bound up with each other. You can't take them apart. So in fact, as they're encountering Christ, they do that in relationship with people. They find Christ. We're not bringing Christ into the margins of the city. He's already there.
Yes.
We're bringing kids there where they can encounter what Christ is up to and hear their calling to be part of that.
And I think that challenges some of our come to Jesus concept. You know, we're dragging people onto our ground to understand our world concept into another missional purpose, doesn't it?
Well, it's what Jesus did. It's what Jesus did when he called disciples. He didn't form a little church in a nice community and just run Sunday services. He took them on the road and he brought them alongside people they never thought they were going to encounter. And as the disciples had these encounters, he would take them away and help them to understand what this meant about the coming kingdom of God and what this meant about their lives.
Who can be part of Urban Mission?
It's for high school kids. If the kids are in a youth group, in a church youth group, the whole youth group can come along, or part of the youth group can come along with their leaders. One of the great things about Urban Mission is that it gives the youth leaders an opportunity to just focus on their kids. They don't need to focus on all the logistics, on the safety, and everything else. We've got that covered. The food, everything's covered, and we've got an amazing team covering that. But for those youth group leaders, they can really focus on their kids and what they're getting out of the experience. But it's also for kids who aren't part of a youth group. We have a lot of kids who are in churches that don't have youth groups, or who haven't been in church but would like to be part of something like this. And we have leaders to include them as well. So it's a very inclusive opportunity for high school youth.
And many of the people who share in our program are from regional Australia. They're in more remote areas. This might be a boon to them to be able to meet other young people.
Absolutely. And to connect and to be part of something that reminds us we're part of something much bigger. I think oftentimes, whether we're in remote areas or even in suburban areas, we can get very much in our little silo of our community, and to recognize that we're part of something much, much bigger is very energizing for kids and for adults as well.
Rick, thanks for joining us today. I know that people can go on our website, they can find details about Urban Mission, and they can log in, they can do all the fancy stuff of getting in on this, and it's very much tuned in to young people. So thanks for sharing with us, and I'm looking forward to perhaps interviewing somebody who's shared in Urban Mission in the next series of programmes, when after the event we can hear what it's done. So thanks a lot. We hope it goes really well.
Thank you very much, Keith.
Joining us today on the show to sing is Greg Cooper, no stranger to us on Wesley Impact, and Greg's going to sing Eternal King.
Lord, speed the day of your justice, of your mercy. Lord, speed the day
It's been 200 years since the first Methodists met in Australia. To celebrate 2 centuries of faith and pioneering care, CEO and presenter Rev Dr Keith Garner takes us back to where it all began.
But we don't begin here at the heart of London. We begin in a town in the north of England.
In this fascinating narrative, Rev Garner chronicles the history of the life and times of the founder of Methodism, John Wesley. This fresh and thought-provoking documentary takes us on a journey throughout the United Kingdom, beginning in John Wesley's hometown of Epworth.
John Wesley was born here on the 17th of June, 1703.
This 1-hour DVD travels onto his education years and beginnings of social justice in Oxford, to his final years in London. For more information on John Wesley, the man and his mission, call 02 9263 5555 or email us at impacttv@wesleymission.org.au.
I'm beginning a series today where I look at some of the inspiring men and women we find in the New Testament. As we briefly examine each of their lives, we're bound to question what their legacy is, or put another way, what impact did they have on the world and leave for us today? Without any doubt, amongst the 12 immediate followers of Jesus, Simon Peter is the person about whom we know the most. I've chosen to consider his life from a critical midpoint, where he denied knowing Jesus. He decided to follow, he had been part of that special group, and then he denied him. So I'm going to read from Luke chapter 22, verses 56 through to 62. A servant girl saw him seated there in the firelight. She looked closely at him and said, "This man was with him." But he denied it. "Woman, I don't know him," he said. A little later, someone else saw him and said, "You are also one of them." "Man, I am not," Peter replied. About an hour later, another asserted, "Certainly this fellow was with him, for he is a Galilean." Peter replied, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." Just as he was speaking, the rooster crowed. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. And Peter remembered the word the Lord had spoken. "Before the rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. You know, I think that's one of the saddest passages in the whole of the New Testament. Of course, we remember how he was originally known as Simon and was given the name of Peter, which had its link to the word rock. But here that rock is crumbling and crumbling fast. We also know that this same Peter became the first great leader of the Christian community. His experience of denial helped to shape him. He contradicted Jesus at Caesarea Philippi. Jesus restored him on the beach. That wonderful passage at the end of John's Gospel where Jesus takes him away from the rest of the disciples and gives him a wonderful sense of calling to feed my sheep, says Jesus. He is the leader of the apostles at the early part of the Acts of the Apostles. There's that wonderful moment at Pentecost where Peter stands up and all the apostles stand up with him. What is it then about Peter that attracts people to him? Well, I reckon if I had to put it in a nutshell, I'd say this. It's his very limitations, his blunders, the signs of weakness that endear us to him. We really do feel we want to understand more about this man. He feels more like one of us. Perhaps we're drawn to him because he's very much like ourselves. The work of the Holy Spirit changed Peter into the man he became. He becomes one who is unafraid to declare the good news of Jesus. And so many must have been. Peter was prepared to do that. He was prepared to challenge the church, to think about the way that it did things after it grew out of this Jewish group into a Christian church. And of course, tradition leads us to understand that his own life was taken from him in Rome. There are all kinds of stories. There are those who say he was crucified upside down on the way into the great city of Rome. Now, whatever happened, it's quite clear that Peter gave his life and himself to Jesus Christ. What a life. It begins with that sense of call when his brother brings him actually to Jesus, and Jesus knows what it is to challenge him and to say, you are and you will be, you are known as this, you will become like a rock, rock-like in your faith, rock-like in your purpose, rock-like in your commitment. What a great man is Peter. And Peter will always speak to us, I think, of the man who knew what it was to go through the cauldron, and that's what it is, a cauldron of denial, a cauldron of experience as he feels the pain. And there's a picture that used to hang, you know, in many church rooms, and it's a picture of Jesus as he looks at Peter. It's summed up in those words. And the Peter recognizes in the verse 61, the Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. Gosh, is it the look that makes him break down? Is it the look that brings him to a point where he's full of tears? I suspect it is, because that look is a look of love. That look, if it's a look of compassion, that look speaks right to the very heart and core of who Peter is. It is no wonder he doesn't just know what it is to weep. We read in these words that he wept bitterly. Oh gosh, full of regret, full of concern for what he'd done. In his introduction to 1 Peter, the great Bible expositor F.B. Meyer points out the fact that it would have been unlikely to ever imagine that the impulsive, rough-handed, so fond of action Peter could write such tender words to a suffering and persecuted church. That's what he did. It's him who writes, perhaps, to a community that is now being persecuted. He can only write in that way because his heart had been touched, because his life had been changed, and because he had been through that experience, not only of denial, but of restoration. And when Jesus calls Peter to join him on the beach away from the rest, the question that he asks him is, do you love me? And do you love me? That has a feel also of that same look of Jesus to Peter. It's a challenging look. It's one that questions the very heart of his intention, his purpose. And that I think is the nature of what it is that actually changes Peter and makes him the kind of person that can lead the church out of its narrowness to understand it must be a church ready to reach the Gentiles. It must be a church ready to reach the world. You see, that is what God does. And that is the nature of God's transforming love in Jesus Christ. It changes Peter, it changes me, and it can certainly change you.
If you would like to contact Keith and find out more about today's program, write to us at Wesley Mission, Post Office Box A5555, Sydney South 1235, or you can send an email to impacttv@wesleymission.org.au. On our website, you can catch up on past episodes of Wesley Impact, find out more about our work, read online magazines and articles, and connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also connect to Keith's blog and stay up to date on all of the latest news and information from Wesley Mission. wesleymission.org.au.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Please don't hesitate to write and be in touch if you've got any questions or comments on the programme. And if you'd like to know more about Urban Mission, I'm very keen that this Urban Mission actually works. And if you want to know more about it, that it works in the community, but most of all, that it works for young people. How we need to be broken out of our narrowness into understanding that Christianity is for the whole world and for our engagement with the whole world. And this generation of young people may just be the right generation to receive that message. So I'm praying and I'm hoping that Urban Mission is powerful. It's an exciting initiative, and we're hoping it'll make a positive impact not only upon Sydney but upon Australia. Our email address and website again is at impacttv@wesleymission.org.au, and wesleymission.org.au is our website. Do join us next week for another episode of Wesley Impact. Until then, thank you for being with us, and may God bless you.
Wesley Mission connects with more than 1,200 young people each year through Wesley Street Smart. To find out more, visit wesleymission.org.au.